Hey guys, I got another wonderful Tech Nitwit video, and we are doing a cooling video, one of the most requested videos on this channel. And I'm just going to explain really quick what we're doing. We're going to go over the numbers, go over what we want to do for our installs. This is not the install video. This is just me going over what these coolers got in the benchmarking and stress testing and the stuff you may need to actually use for the installation. So if you want to follow along with me, order your stuff and then watch the install video, you can go right along with me. All right guys, so we have this small cooler. This is going to be your $55 cooler. And up or down, I'm not going to get that exact price for you, but that's this little guy right here. And then we got the large and in charge Bad Mamma Jamma, the NHC14 Sierra. This thing is a large and in charge cooler. We actually got an upgrade for the cooler. We got a 3000 RPM fan instead of the I want to say it's a 1200 to 1500 variable fan. So them are the coolers that we have. This thing barely fits in the case, but it does fit. You're also going to need a 2 or 3-way power splitter depending on how many fans you add to your case. You're going to want to order some thermal paste, MasterGel. Just be aware, all the stuff that I'm talking about works in the TG01 0023w and any other TG01 that has an AMD or Intel processor. So all these upgrades I am talking about will work in there. So when you do the installation video, if you have a TG0021, it will still work. Or if you got a TG01 1185T, it will work. So just be aware that these all work. I want to try the IC graphic thermal pad. That's going to be something that I get into. You're going to want to order a screw set, and these are M3 screws. This is a DYWISHKEY 360 piece kit. We are going to need the, if I remember correctly, the 16mm screws out of here because all the kits, the screws are not long enough. Everything you need right here is, and I have it set up, you're going to need a 2.5mm Allen head. One does come with this kit, so if you want to be cheeky and not have to get tools, it does come in this kit. Also, you're going to need a T5 Torx head, of course, to take your case apart and do all your stuff. You're going to need isopropyl alcohol to wipe off the thermal paste and some paper toweling. So the stuff right here, we do have our 3000 RPM fan, which is going to be a big upgrade for this Bad Mamma Jamma of a cooler. This thing is freaking awesome. I will tell you that with the 3700X in here running dual stress tests, that's 2 stress tests, the 3D Mark Time Spy, and each one is 20 on a loop. I got the processor up to 87 Celsius. I would say that this is not intuitive to keeping this processor alive. It will run at this temperature, but it is not a good idea. One thing you're going to need if you're going to do extra fans in this case, this does take a 92mm fan. We got the Noctua NF Bravo and Alpha. The Alpha is the 2000 RPM and the Redux, which is a little bit cheaper, but not the awful brown. And that's this guy. This one does 2000 RPMs, and then we have the black guy, which does less RPMs. It's 1600. If you want less noise, this is a good upgrade to put in here. There also is a low noise adapter in here, which will slow the fan down, but it's kind of counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve in this video, or our video, or whatever you want to call it. So this is kind of a cool looking fan. It's silver. It does its job. And this is the other guy. They're both silver, so they kind of look cool. But other than that, they are 1600 RPM and a little bit cheaper. They do not come with the little anti-noise vibration things, which if you want to do this install, you're going to need, because the front fan that you put in here does not, none of the fan screws will work. So you pretty much need to pull the anti-vibration things through to make that install work, which is those guys that I just dropped on the floor because Tech Nitwit, you got some butterfingers. So I know this is kind of quick and dirty and to the point video. I will show you some of the product, but these are the Chromex guys. I think, I can't remember how many come in here, if it's 20 or 30, but these are the guys that you're going to pull through the case. You don't need a screw, and then the fan actually attaches to them. They're really neat. They're not too expensive. They come in all different colors: black, green, blue, maybe gray. Don't quote me on that, but it is a chromic thing that Noctua has. Now, Noctua is a really good quality heatsink provider. They make some of the best in the world. I will say that they are on the pricier side. The reason we chose Noctua for this build is because this is an AMD on a 1151 socket Intel socket. So if you see these little standoffs right here on the table, these are actually taller. These are from the AMD kit, and you need 16 or 14mm screws that'll actually fit in there. So these kits don't have long enough screws, so that's why you want to order this kit so you actually have screws. I will have a link in the description for all this stuff down below. Probably not the alcohol and the paper towel, But this bad mamma jam of a cooler is getting stuck in here. So let me go over some of the temps that we got from actually installing these coolers. If you look on screen really quick, if I jump over there, you'll see that it was 87 Celsius. That is, like I said before, it is not counterintuitive to the processor lasting. The large guy is $90, and this is gonna be about $50, $60 shipped to your door. So with the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, with the stock cooler, we got about 188 degrees, which is 87 Celsius. It also heats up your GPU when you do this. So just be aware, they kind of radiate off of each other, especially with the case closed. You can gain some cooling if you take this side off without the fans. If you're not going to do this fan upgrade and you don't got little kids or pets that can touch inside here, or humans that are wanting to win the Darwin Award, you can take the side of the case off. Case off with the upgrade with the large guy, we were seeing a drop of almost 20 Celsius on stress tests. Low end was about 14, so we were getting about 60 to 65 C. And that was a 20 loop stress test with Time Spy. And then case on went up a little bit. We've seen between 68 and 71 Celsius. Of course, it's less cooling. The GPU was sitting at 68, 75 Celsius. And of course, with the case off, it was 58 to 60 C. So you're 8 to 10 C with the side of the case on, no extra fans in there. Once you add the fans, it does drop it a significant amount. The small Noctua, we've seen a high end of 78 to 79 after the end of the benchmark, but it did do a really good job of cooling it. I would say that if you can afford it, get the large guy, but if you can't, the small guy will still suffice. Our GPU ran a whopping 63 Celsius, and that was open case. Case closed, of course, it's going to raise it a little bit. We've seen a 72 to 71, which is about the same thing with the case on with this cooler, but our GPU did go up 7 degrees Celsius to be 70 C as total, which is 158 Fahrenheit. Other than this, guys, I'm going to have more videos on installing all this stuff, putting it in, some short videos on thermal paste and how to clean your processor or heatsink. You don't need the 3-fan guy if you're going to do my install, you just need a 2, but be aware this is a PWM splitter, not a 3-pin, this is a 4-pin. One of these guys needs to be plugged into the 4-pin so the computer can actually recognize that fan so it knows how fast it's going. Otherwise the computer's going to think, hey, I'm missing a fan, what's going on here, something's wrong, and it might not want to boot or give you some warning beeps and stuff like that. So if you really want to, the install I'm going to do, you only need a dual splitter. You put this on the CPU and you pretty much hook your CPU fan into this main guy, and then your extra fan is going to go on here. There is a 92mm fan in the rear. It's a Foxconn, some unknown name brand. I used one of the RPM scanners. It was showing 1,000 RPMs. I didn't look up the statistics of it, so technically sticking the Noctua in there, you're gaining about 500 RPMs with the low noise and a 2,000 RPMs with no noise adapter. This fan is going to sound like you are literally taking off to go to the moon. This is the one for the big cooler. It's another bad black mamma jamma. It's a cool looking fan. I'll pop it open for you guys really quick. And this thing is a PPC industrial fan. This thing will suck a golf ball through a garden hose. It is that strong. If you want to cool your case, this is how it's going to be. One thing about this, the fan does come installed where it's blowing up. And in this case, if you're going to have the side on, you want it sucking in. And other than that, guys, we are going to end this video and we will have some more cool stuff coming on our channel. Thank you all my subscribers and everybody that's commented and liked. And you guys are frickin' awesome. Hey guys, it's TechNetwood here. Make sure you guys subscribe and like and hit that bell. Thanks.